This is a public service announcement for white men. It is okay to approach a Latina at the bar.
That part, yep.
It is okay to like a Latina. We are equals. We are pretty people. We are also equal to the blondes at the bar.
Even better.
Even better, maybe. I don't wanna. Perhaps.
Don't quote me on it, but
please, it is okay to approach a Latina at the bar. It is okay.
We will talk to you.
We will talk to you. It is okay. I promise. It is okay. Please approach us. We are all one. We are begging.
We're begging.
We're on our hands and knees. Please approach us.
I'm on my knees.
Like, what the fuck?
I was speaking to my mum about dating, and because I'm out a lot for work and things like that, and I love to socialize, she was like, oh, like, have you met anyone out? And I'm like, well, I will see a guy that, say, I've texted or, like, met online or have mutuals with, and he will, like, look at me and then turn away and then message saying, like, hey, you looked gorgeous today. And that's, like, a universal experience for every girl. Like, guys will just text you later on. And mum's like, what the fuck? Like, mum's like, when I would go out, if a guy was interested, he'd straight up go, like, hey, I'm interested in you, like, whatever, what's your number? And if you liked him, you'd give him your real one. If you didn't, you'd change one digit. That's what she said to me. My mum did make a point that I go for socially awkward private school boys that don't know how to talk to girls because I went to single sex schools, so that's a big factor too. But, like, I took it upon myself to call my guy friend and literally ask for the answers. I'm like, just tell me, like, what is stopping guys from just, like, approaching girls naturally and not, like, sleazy, just, like, literally for a conversation? Because guys that, like, do that, like, reap the benefits anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be a sleaze to, like, pull a girl in the first place. My guy friend said, unless a girl is, like, making it that obvious, like, at a pub, for example, that she's into him, he's like, she has to fully be, like, waving at me for me to think to go over. And he said that rejection just isn't worth it these days because that girls, like, have higher standards of men, so guys genuinely feel like they just aren't good enough and to go up and introduce themselves. And I'm like, that's actually kind of sad because I do feel like girls are getting judgier, but I also feel like boys are the same. And I think it goes down to dating apps and social media, obviously. But dating apps is like shopping, like no, yes, no. So it's like people are getting pickier, but yeah, it's like people don't know how to socialize anymore, and it's really sad. I saw on TikTok a card game that someone invented called We Met at a Bar. I don't know if you've seen it, but it actually looks like a cool idea, and they should collab with different pubs in Melbourne and just, like, have the card game sitting at, like, different tables or something. I feel like that'd be so good. Pretty much, I think it was, like, they had, like, different, not dares, but, like, I don't know, you have to look it up, but it's called We Met at a Bar, and, like, it introduces conversation, like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I just feel like...
You ever notice how the dating market has quietly split into two completely different worlds? One where a tiny group of men gets endless attention, and another where the majority of men have completely checked out. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional? Or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. Now, let's break this down, because what she said actually reveals the entire problem with dating in 2025. She says good-looking men don't need to approach girls because girls throw themselves at them, and the rest don't bother because they know they'd get rejected. And honestly, that's the unfiltered truth most people don't want to admit. Attractive men live in a totally different reality. They're not chasing. They're selecting. They don't need gain, confidence, or strategy. The attention comes to them automatically. One look, a smile, a DM, doors open on their own. But on the other side, you've got the everyday guy, the 80% who've slowly realized that approaching women in public isn't just risky, it's pointless. They've watched their friends get brushed off, embarrassed, even accused of being creepy for saying hello. So what do? They retreat. They stay in their lane. They stop trying altogether. This is the new dating gap nobody talks about. The top men get flooded with options, and the average men get invisible. And what happens when the majority of men stop approaching? The same women who ignored them start asking, why don't men talk to us anymore? It's not that men stopped caring, it's that the cost of trying now outweighs the reward. Most men don't hate approaching, they hate being punished for it. This is why the social marketplace feels broken. Women expect the attention they used to get, but men have adapted to a system that no longer rewards effort. And here's the wild part. Both sides think the other is delusional, but only one side is still living in the past.
I need to like crash out for a minute here. Okay, look, I'm not looking my best. I think my hair looks a little greasy. I just came from my son's playoff travel baseball game. I decided afterwards, because it's not my weekend, that I'm just gonna go grab a bite to eat. I didn't want to go sit at home by myself again. It felt depressing, and I was like, I'll just go sit at a bar and have dinner, and who knows, maybe I'll meet someone. No. First of all, there was the bar was at zero. There was no one even there, and then finally, towards the end, a somewhat decent, like, attractive man comes in. He sits right next to me, looks at me. I could tell, I could feel the vibe that he was like interested, but he didn't say one word. Not the entire time. I sat there. I was like kind of, angling my body in that direction, like, hey, I'm interested. If you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. I, was playing with my hair a little bit, like not too much, but just a little bit, a little flirty. I even had a hat. Putting on my hat just in case I looked too greasy. Anyway, the point is, people say, oh, why do you go on dating apps? You can just meet someone in real life. Can you? Can you, though? Can you actually meet someone in real life? I don't think so. Because you know what? I'm going to say it. Men in real life are pussies. I said what I said. I don't know. The situation, it feels a little hopeless. Like, I'm angling my body towards you. I don't have a ring on. It's a Sunday night. I'm sitting at a bar by myself. I'm flirting with you without saying anything. I can't quite make eye contact because you're next to me.
He says, given the fact today's single men born in the 80s and early 90s have been used, cheated on, and lied to, your best move is to make the first move. And honestly, this is one of the rare statements that actually reflects what men from that era quietly carry, because men who grew up in that generation watched dating evolve in real time. They lived through the rise of hookup culture, the divorce spike, the online dating explosion, and the slow cultural shift where men were expected to perform but rarely protected. By the time they hit their 30s and 40s, so many of them have been through the exact things she listed being taken advantage of. Being kept as a backup option, being emotionally invested in someone who wasn't invested back. These aren't abstract ideas for them. These are lived experiences. So what happens? They become cautious, not bitter. Cautious. They move quieter. They don't chase the way they used to. They've learned the cost of choosing wrong. They've learned the cost of trying too hard. And most importantly, they've learned that interest has to be mutual from the start, not something men earn while women sit back and evaluate. That's why her advice making the first move actually fits today's landscape, because modern men are no longer operating from naive optimism. They're operating from split protection. They're not going to risk embarrassment or rejection for someone who isn't giving clear signals. And here's the bigger truth. Women still expect men to initiate like it's 1995, while treating men like they're disposable like it's 2025. You can't have both. If you want a man who's been through life, who's stable, who's grown, who's battle-tested, you're going to have to show him you're serious. Not with hints, not with vague energy, but with real initiative. Because the men from that generation aren't afraid of commitment. They're just done committing to people who don't commit back.
Look, I am not here to offend anyone, so sorry. I was just coming on here to rant, a silly little rant. I had no idea it was going to go as viral as it did. I had like close to 70,000 views. That's wild to me. But now that I have your attention, I guess it seems like there's a larger conversation, a larger theme at play here. And as women, it seems like our role in this is that we've beaten men down so much for approaching us, but at the same time, we want them to approach us. Like, yes, men, do you hear that? We want you to shoot your shot. I mean, obviously read the room, right? Like if we're in the middle of a birthday party or we're hanging out with our kids, like don't approach, right? Or maybe do like something subtle. But like I said in my last video, if a female is sitting alone at a bar on a Sunday and she isn't on her phone, she doesn't have a ring, she keeps looking at you, that's kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion. If she's clearly like in at a business event and she's presenting, obviously that's not the time. Like there's obvious cues, right? I feel like I'm actually a little shocked that I have, actually maybe I'm not. Anyway, witty banter goes a really long way. Self-deprecation, top notch. I'm no expert, but I'm just telling you what females like. And to be clear, I feel like I need to address this. I always go up to men. Like, if I see something I like, fuck yeah, I'm going after it. I do. Every time. I didn't expect people to say, oh, you should reach out. I mean, I guess I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. But I've just been running into a string of men who get so excited about what I look like. And then when we go on dates, they're like, they get what they want after a certain period of time. And then it's like, all right, I'm out. And yeah, did I want that in the very beginning of my post-divorce journey? Sure, it had been a while. But now I'm ready. I want a relationship. I'm not trying to like have a revolving door of men. I'm a mom of 2 boys. Like I don't want that. I want that stability, of somebody adding to my life, not for me to depend on them. I'm perfectly content and happy with myself, as most women are in their 40s. That's the beauty of dating somebody in their 40s. So yeah, I mean, I guess the moral of the story is shoot your shot, respect someone's time. Don't pretend that you're wanting more than you are. And look, dating is figuring that out, right? But just don't play games. Like, I don't know. One last thing that's super important that I forgot, if I still have your attention, confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, what are you doing? I'm not attracted. I mean, I can speak on behalf of a lot of women, but personally, and I'm not talking like cocky. I'm talking like, I'm good. Like, I don't need a woman, but I want you. Like, that's sexy. That's hot. And not clingy, not stage 5 clingy crap. I'm talking like you're balanced. You have your shit together. You know yourself. You have self-worth. You're not anxious. You feel confident in your skin, and you're not already assuming the worst of women, and you're not negative about it. Like, just be yourself and be comfortable in your own skin, and you're not going to overthink approaching a woman. You're either going to do it or you're not. Fuck this Me Too culture. I'm sorry.
And that's not to disrespect people who genuinely had things that happen. I'm just talking about like, oh, I can't approach a woman because of Me Too. And look, I get it. And maybe for like Gen Z people, I said what I said. Sorry, I got cut off. Ex-husband was calling me. Anyway, for the moral of the story is just be confident. Don't be afraid to approach, and don't make assumptions. Just don't assume. Half the time women go out, especially by themselves, or just like with one other person or two, like they want your attention. So don't be afraid to give it.
She says, oh no, there are no obvious hints. That's why they're called hints. Most men catch on to them, but we ignore them because that just isn't enough to risk our peace over. And this is where modern dating dynamics get exposed without even trying. Because women genuinely believe hints are communication, a glance, a smile, a slightly longer laugh, maybe standing a little closer. These things are seen as green lights. But for men, especially men today, those things barely register as safe signals. Men understand hints. They're not oblivious. They're not clueless. They're not socially unaware. The issue isn't comprehension, it's cost. Because in 2025, acting on a hint is like stepping onto a minefield with a blindfold on. If he misreads it even slightly, he's labeled pushy, weird, or crossing boundaries. Default text, and men know this. They've learned it the hard way. That's why when she says men ignore hints, she's actually describing a survival mechanism. Men aren't rejecting the woman, they're protecting their peace, their dignity, and sometimes even their reputation. Because the truth is simple. A hint is not enough to justify the risk anymore. Modern men want clarity. They want reciprocity. They want someone who communicates with intention, not someone who acts like sending a telepathic signal is enough to justify approaching her in public. Here's the deeper layer people miss. Men have watched how fast a positive interaction can be reframed as negative after the fact if the woman wasn't as interested as he thought, and so men learn to wait, to read more signs, to step back rather than step forward. So yes, they catch the hints, but no, they don't act on them, because hints don't guarantee safety, interest, or respect. If interest is real, make it undeniable. Because in this generation, subtlety is no longer a love language, it's a liability.